In 1940, okay, 87% of blacks lived in poverty. By 1960, about 47% of blacks lived in below the poverty line. Okay, so
now his stat is correct only because he Googled it and just read it word for word. That's how I know it is because I Googled it, and then that's what it is, word for word.
40% drop. Also, keep in mind, this was before the civil rights era. So racism was...
What an idiot! What's happening? It's your guy Charm, Burbank TV, burbankclothing.com. Today, we're going to be reacting to a video by Oshay Duke Jackson. Now, we all know that Tariq Nasheed and Myron Gaines and a couple other people had a debate over on Twitter wherein a lot of people's opinions, Tariq Nasheed washed the entire whoever Myron had up there with him, including Myron. Myron got washed, right? So Myron, he showed, just when I thought he couldn't get any dumber, he totally surprised me. Totally surprised me. And you know what? I ain't even gonna talk no more. We're just gonna watch this stupidity here. And what this is really about, this is about the aftermath of the debate, really. But he's gonna run through it, through the debate part real quick and what led up to it. Let's go.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Oshay Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Jump. Dima, I got a couple music. Myron from Fresh and Fit hasn't had the best week. He's been exposed for trying to charge his fans $4,000 to go to a yacht trip.
That's
also,
crazy.
The week
That's
before
wild.
that, he was trying to charge his fans $35 per month to join his secret membership, all because, well, he's been demonetized and it's hard for them to get money on Rumble now. As things
that whole sequence of them getting demonetized was, I ain't even gonna lie, it was epic. It was like their whole little live show they did, supposedly destroying Abba and Preach, totally backfired on them. Then they get demonetized and Myra ends up crying and running off the stage.
He gonna cry in the car.
It was wild. And I honestly didn't want to cover these guys no more because I can't stand listening to this content. It takes a real toll on my mental, and it's yeah. But I had to cover this because he's just so stupid.
Things continue to go further, they're seeing that it's going to be hard for them to survive. And instead of trying to get their self together, they're actually getting worse. You know, that one saying that goes like the rich get richer and the poor gets poorer. Well, the dumber gets dumber. Instead of really working on themselves and trying to rebuild some level of credibility with their platform, they're going all out and being more racist and more belligerent against the African American community.
Hey, I called it. I said trying to appeal to the conservative party and entertaining these racists, these wannabe racists like Nick Fuentes and stuff. That was going to be their next grift because the red pill is pretty much done. It's done and over. This is going to be their next grift because they want those people. What do they call them? They want those people that are on the out, that feel like they're on the outside. You know what I mean? No matter what it is. First, they were pandering to the guys in their mother's basements, not getting women. Now they're going to pander to guys in their mother's basements who hate other races.
And this is the mistake that Myron made when he came to challenge Tariq Nasheed on a Twitter Space debate. It was him, it was Sneeko, it was Tommy Sotomayor, and well, they got that work because the conversation went something like this.
Are you telling me that if you're an immigrant, you cannot comment
from
on
the Sudan?
situations?
Yeah, if you're from you're from the Sudan, you can't say about a foundational Black American. Nothing.
Interesting.
At all.
Interesting.
Nothing.
Let me. Okay.
Nothing. You can't say nothing about us.
Let's use your logic.
Not one word.
Let's
you
use
come
your
from
logic.
a failed homeland where people are starving. You can't say shit Yes,
Cool.
that's
Then
how
let's
that works.
use your logic then.
That's how
Tariq,
that
let me
works.
ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
Do you have to be a mathematician to say 1 + 1 is 2?
No, sir. No. That's no.
Ryan Dawson beef
That's
with
a non
Myron.
sequitur. It has nothing to do with anything. You come from a failed homeland where people are over there starving, and you
Mathematician
haven't
to say
figured out
1
how to
+ 1 is
stop the people from
musty
starving. So you can't come
musty
over here and
tether
talk
news.
about
Here we go.
intelligence.
Here we go.
Hey, y'all see that at the very bottom? Musty tether news.
Thank you to the white supremacists in America. You're eating, Tariq.
How so, sir?
Because the white people started this country. The white
The white
supremacists started this
supremacists
country.
failed when
Go
they
back.
tried to start it.
Exactly.
No,
Let
they
me
didn't.
take this because
No,
this
they
is what
didn't. They failed when they tried to do
he
it on
doesn't
their
know
own.
it,
They
but he's
didn't start a
embarrassing
damn
himself.
thing. It was Foundation for
Tariq,
Black Americans.
Tariq,
Go ahead,
let
sir.
me Tariq,
Go
Tariq.
ahead.
Let me again. So you're telling me if someone's an immigrant from Sudan or wherever they're from, they can't comment on social issues?
Not over here. No, you're not at liberty to do that because your social issues are in shambles. You're not at liberty.
Cool.
Why would
So
we?
only
Why would we
black
listen
people,
to you?
as you
Why
would
would
say,
we listen to you?
Tariq Nasheed thoroughly embarrassed Myron. It looked very, very bad.
Yeah. It more than looked very, very bad. It was very, very bad. I guarantee he went into this room with an agenda, and it's very apparent his IQ was higher than everybody else's in that room.
And for many of us, it was quite funny. Even the guy that was on his side, which was Tommy Sotomayor, admitted that, hey, you guys lost. But more to that in a minute. Myron didn't feel too happy about that because his ego was definitely bruised. So he made this post on Twitter. And it says this.
The people in Andrew want this, so I'll take it off. I challenge Tariq Nasheed and a partner of his choosing.
What people want this? Nobody wants this except Myron. You already lost, bro. You got washed. It was bad. You don't belong in a debate with Tariq Nasheed, period.
To debate me and Andrew Wilson on the topic of white supremacy in America and the oppression of blacks allegedly. Time to.
Now, the crazy part is, if you go back to the debate, all right, you see on here where he says of white supremacy in America and the oppression of blacks allegedly. Now, if you go back to the debate, Myron gets backed into a corner. He starts clutching his pearls, and then he wants to start claiming that he's also black and he would get treated the same way by racist cops if he got pulled over in the car with Tariq Nasheed. See, that's the thing with Myron. He claims he's black when it's convenient for him. But if he can make money off of being a fake white supremacist, he's going to do that. First of all, he's not black. He's Arabic. I don't know why he's not proud of that. It's obvious that he's not proud of his own race and heritage. It's probably because he got picked on as a kid for being Arabic and Muslim. I mean, he whines about it a lot. So that's probably why he went to college and then tried to reinvent himself as black. He's not black. And he's not the definition of African American. Well, what they would like to call the definition of African American. You know, like I don't identify as African American. I identify as black because I've only been to Africa one time and it was for like 20 minutes. But and that was Egypt. I had to stop over in Egypt for like 20 minutes. Other than that, I've never been to Africa. So I'm not an African American. You know what I mean? African Americans are people who were born in Africa, on the continent of Africa, and then moved to America. Technically, so Myron Gaines, even though he says, oh, I'm African American, no, you're not. You said you were born here. So that means you're not African American either. You're definitely not black.
Put this topic to bed once and for all.
This isn't the first time that Myron has tried to challenge Tariq Nasheed to a debate. He did it here.
And honestly, if it's me and Nick, I'll take on Tariq and Umar. We'd absolutely.
This was before this was before he got his ass kicked on Twitter.
Destroy them. We would absolutely destroy them.
You absolutely
and
did
we
not.
don't even have to get into like any of the IQ stuff.
And wait a minute. Okay, so you're gonna have a white supremacist Arab dude and a white supremacist half white, half Mexican dude debate Tariq Nasheed, and did he say a person of his choosing, or did he say Umar Johnson? I think this one he said Umar Johnson. First of all, they don't even get along. Umar and Tariq don't get along, and Umar's a fraud. He would have to be somebody else. Either way, it wouldn't work. Myron, you would have lost that one too.
No, we would just straight debate them on how you are not oppressed as an African American in the United States, or an FBA, foundationally Black American, whatever they want to say. They say all these excuses about why the black man can't get ahead. I'll give you all one stat, all right, just to show you guys how ludicrous these guys are. In 1940, okay, 87% of blacks lived in poverty. By 1960, about 47% of blacks lived in below the poverty line. Okay, so
now his stat is correct only because he Googled it and just read it word for word. That's how I know it is, because I Googled it, and then that's what it is, word for word.
40% drop. Also, keep in mind, this was before the civil rights era. So racism was
what an idiot. I'm gonna let him finish his point.
Its highest. So please explain to me how you had a 40% drop of blacks living under the under the poverty line, in one of the worst eras to be a black person in the United States, and then you're fast forwarding to 2023, where racism exists. I'm not denying it exists. However, it is not strong enough to keep you back or hold you back from success. No way. But you're telling me people had way more obstacles back then and they were able to not live in poverty? Come on, man, get out of here.
But that was
Myron Gaines. You are a moron. That's your new name. Moron Gaines. Moron Gaines. The reason the poverty level went down in 1960. In 1959, the poverty level amongst blacks was like 56, 57 percent, somewhere in that range. It went down to 47 in 1960, right? And the reason for that was because of the civil rights movement, which started in like 1954. What is you talking about? It was before the civil rights movement. No, it wasn't. The civil rights era started in like 1954, 56, somewhere in that time range. Like, dude, you can look this stuff up before you open your stupid mouth. It's not that hard. You just make yourself look and sound even dumber and dumber every time.
Before he actually got that work. Tariq Nasheed responds in kind by saying this.
You and your buddies already lost the debate with me. That spanking I gave you and your buddies is going viral because of my audience and influence. 3, you have to have strippers on your channel to get views. I get more views than you on average, and I have no guests or strippers on my channel. 4, and if you want more clout from me by setting up another multi-person debate, yes, you're going to have to break bread. I'm not going to keep intellectually spanking goofy dudes for free.
Now this really pissed the hell off. He was so mad. Dude, we got 1.5 million subs on YouTube.
Hey, Oshay, I don't agree with a lot of stuff that he's saying, but I gotta admit, my guy is funny. The dude is funny though. He is funny, and he's cooking Myron. He is cooking. Don't get it twisted. He is cooking Myron in this video.
236,000. You must be delusional if you think I'm going to pay you to debate when I have a way larger platform and am way more relevant than you. No, he should have said, stop the show. And I am way more relevant than you. A lot of Africans put that and am way more relevant. You're definitely from Africa, bro. This insecurity is new.
Real quick. Tariq Nasheed didn't say anything about subscribers. He said he gets more views than Myron does. And Myron automatically goes to his 1.5 million subscribers. Now, if you go to their channel, what video or live thing of theirs has that many views? None of them. They're not even close. He's got like a few. There's a few. I went back a whole year, right? There was only a few that were over 100,000, maybe like 3 or 4. The rest were all under 100,000. So what's that tell you about his subscriber count? The subscribers are bots. They probably get more views on. They probably did the Pearl thing where they just flooded it with the with shorts and got like a whole bunch of shorts subscribers, but that doesn't translate over to their long forms and their lives and stuff like that. So they don't get a lot of views on their actual videos. Tariq Nasheed, he averages over 100,000 per video. Hell, it might be over 200,000.
And already over 100K. Just admit you're scared to debate me and Paleo Crystal Booty Clapper, whatever his name is, and keep it pushing. You didn't spank anyone and spent most of your time arguing with Sneeko. When I said go ahead and criticize Jews since you think white power and Jewish power are the same, you said I'm not gonna crash out because.
See, he tried to bait him into a debate about those people, and Tariq Nasheed handled it masterfully. He said, I don't see the difference in between white people and those people because visually there is no difference. Hell, I mean, if Ben Shapiro takes off his yarmulke, he looks like Nick Fuentes. I swear to God, Nick Fuentes could be his little sister. Tell me, am I lying? Put them side by side.
You know you can't talk about Jews the same way you talk about whites. I'm not going to give you reparations to do a debate that would benefit you way more than me. Stop lying to yourself. Oh boy, he started booty clapping it up, and he continued to get more upset. No, he says he wants us to pay it as I'm the U.S.
Crying like a little girl.
Reparations, LMFAO. Like he is hella mad, right? But look, these next screenshots make him hella mad. All right. Now this is, he's still upset. More angry music. Why do black people say stupid ish like you're not black, so you can't comment on black issues?
Because you're not black.
Your family is from Sudan, a poor African country, so your opinion doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
You're an Arab, so you're not one of us.
You're not.
Firstly, Sudan is a country in North Africa. It literally means land of the blacks in Arabic, dummy. Secondly, my parents came from Sudan, and I was born here. I am.
Pause. Cause he just said something really. How do I know more about his parents' home country than he does? Like I said, Myron Gaines. Okay. Let's talk about this real quick. Sudan is the country right below Egypt. What was Sudan called before it was called Sudan? It was called Nubia. What people originally inhabited Nubia and came from Nubia? Not Myron's people. The people that came from there look closer to me than Myron. You can look on Egyptian hieroglyphs and paintings and stuff. They showed the Nubians on there. They're all dark skinned. Darker than Myron's people. That's why it was called the land of the blacks when, the Arabic invasion or Muslim invasion or something took over Nubia. Right? Which actually brings up another point so at that same time, did they take over Egypt too? And they're just jacking that history? Because that is a popular opinion. We know for a fact Nubia was black. And that probably means what they would call Upper Egypt, what we would call Lower Egypt, but they called it Upper Egypt, were probably black too, including some of the pharaohs, right? I don't know. It's just a theory. I'm just talking though. Let's get back to it.
The definition of African American, you FBI retards. Well, let's play this FBI game.
He is not the very definition of African American. The very definition of African American. Now, if you're asking anybody but the United States government, like anybody outside this country, African American means somebody who was born in Africa and moved to America. If you ask the U.S. government and certain people, they would say African Americans are black people who were descendants of slavery. Myron fits none of those.
I assume I was not black. I was Indian, white, Chinese, green, whatever. I don't give a F. Well, this dude is typing a hell of much. FBA logic is you can't criticize us unless you're FBA because you don't understand our struggle.
He obviously does not.
That's the rebuttal to criticism I ever heard. All FBAs do is complain about white supremacy. By your logic, you can't comment on the white experiences because you're not white. By your logic, you can't comment on anything except black issues. See how flawed your logic is? That's like saying you have to be that mathematician to say 1 + 1 = 2. The beauty
You don't have to be a mathematician, but you have to know math, Myron.
about the truth is it's objective, which means it stands on its own regardless of who says it. Now that I prove FBA logic is retarded, let me cook you morons with facts and play the same stupid victim game you do. He also says,
Oh my God, bro.
not only did I deal with the same negative
There's more. There's more. Wow. This reminds me of them texts my wife be sending in the middle of arguments. I'm like, out here reading all this.
Stereotypes and profiling FBAs get in America, I also received the Arab and Muslim hostility post 911 too.
See?
Guess what?
See? He was bullied because he's Arabic and he's a Muslim. That's why he tried to reinvent himself as black. If you notice in college, he was way darker than what he is there. He went to college in Boston? But he lives in Miami now. So how is he way darker in Boston than he was in Miami? Because he was going tanning, making his skin darker so he could try to pass as black. And for us that know, he still didn't pass as black. I've been to the Middle East. I've seen the darker color Arabs that were from the warmer regions. They look like Myron did in college. So I already knew, I've been knew Myron wasn't black, even though he was sitting there claiming, because people were on him about dropping N-bombs on this show. And he, I'm black, my brother looks black and this and that. And you're not, bro. Just stop.
White cops, storytellers, and others saw me. They didn't say, well, geez, he's not an FBA, so let me stop profiling him. The very white supremacists you cry about. They put me in the same boat as you FBAs.
Clutching his pearls like a little girl.
Add terrorists for an extra measure of racism since I'm Arab and Muslim as well. Well, you got those white girls over there booty clapping them up. You can scream, I'm not one of you until your face turns blue, but to the oppressors, I am. So stop the show. So then, why do you do so much buffooning then, bro, if that's the case?
Good fucking question. And he's sitting there saying that he's just sitting there admitting that there's oppression, right? Am I tripping? Am I tripping, or was that not in that tweet?
Like, if you understand all of these things, then why do you go so hard on hating on African Americans, FBA, ADOS, when you understand what they have done to your place and you, especially when the African American community is not attacking you? They're
not at all.
Anything to you?
I will.
Again,
he's a moron.
For people who are not even trying to stop you from doing anything. Continue. I deal with the same racist BS.
Hold on. Let's freeze this real quick. Where did it say? Very white supremacists you cry about. They put me in the same boat as you FBAs and terrorists for an extra measure of racism since I'm Arab and Muslim as well. You can scream all that. You can scream I'm not one of you until you're blue or till your face turns blue. But to the oppressors, I am.
Good evening, sir. My name is Steve. I come from a rough area. I used to be addicted to crack, but now I'm off.
Now, let me read this like I do have, like I can read at a 10th grade level. You can scream I'm not one of you until your face turns blue. That's what jacked me up because I'm used to saying until you turn blue in the face. But anyways, but to the oppressors, I am. I'm lost. Am I tripping? Here he's saying there are oppressors. in that debate and in some earlier tweets, he was saying there wasn't. Which is it?
You guys do in America and then some. I got the 2-for-1 racing special and can claim the victim card twice as hard as these PUSSREZs, FBAs. But there's one big difference between me and you FBA. Now stop the show. He got a
a huge difference. FBAs, i.e. me, this guy, foundational black people. We are the descendants of slaves and natives. You're not at all. You're Arabic from the Sudan.
bigger following, but he's...
Speaking of the Sudan, did y'all know that like them UNICEF commercials, they're always talking about where you could feed the children for like 20 cents a day? That's Sudan. That is the Sudan. I didn't know that for the longest. But yes, that is actually the Sudan. West Africa. Or I'm sorry, East Africa. Look, I don't even know my geography. East Africa. That's Myron's homeland. You can feed Myron for 20 cents a day. That's what it's going to come down to because they broke. They begging for money, trying to scam their fans and all kinds of stuff.
Stays writing. I refuse.
Oh my God. There's more?
That millions all over the world are dying to get a chance at it. Why do you think we have thousands illegally crossing the border daily at the risk of being kidnapped, killed, extorted, or left for dead in the desert by Mexican cartels? Why do you think people here spend every dollar?
That's probably how his parents got over. I'm calling ICE.
Or they have to come here. They die and sacrifice for the very liberties you be about, you ungrateful Fs. You can talk ish about black immigrants all you want, but that's why they are earned FBAs. And don't complain while doing it. Call me non-black all you want. I give 0 Fs. Facts are facts. And then he continues. To be honest, I'm assuming you both check the same African-American boxing questionnaires and have to be lumped in with you crybaby.
Why is he checking African-American boxes on applications when he's not African-American? Myron Gaines, ladies and gentlemen.
Fs. No one is keeping blacks from success, but blacks themselves cry more and make more excuses for mediocrity. Then look, you got Mr. Sellout Mayor says this. Same music. They got it from their mama. She told them to.
I don't know much about Tommy Mayor. But ain't he the one dude that got beat up by the chick on the one live show, on the one Fresh and Fit live show, or he punched her in the face, or she punched him in the face, or something?
You can't keep anything. That's not a compliment. Now it's funny because Myron ends up turning on Tommy Sotomayor later on that day, but you know he was butthurt about it. That's another video I have coming up. Let me just say, yeah, the truth can be objective, but let's say what he's talking about is true. You also have to understand that when you castigate people and call them names and insult them and call them words and, you know, pretend to call people monkeys and apes, yeah, that's not going to be received very well. For an example, I'm living right now in Uganda.
He's a moron.
I do very well for myself living here. I have some advantages basically because of my education and the ability that I work hard. I would never in my life think about down talking them and their experience, you know, telling them, well, why can't you do something? Why can't you make it? What's wrong with you? You know, I'm here, right? I'm here. I need to be mindful of where I'm at. I would never do that to any black person knowing what we have been through. So you acknowledge that we've been through these things, but you're not trying to do anything out of a place of love. You're trying to do things out of a place of hatred, similar to Candace Owens, and you wonder why you get vitriol. Plus, how has it helped you now? You can never go back to your old job. No one will touch you. You've been demonetized.
God damn. You got to be a stupid motherfucker to get fired on your day off.
You've created a hole for yourself. And guess what? You're not even liked in Sudan either. So I get what you're saying. Yeah, the truth can be objective and every particular group of people has a hole in it or they have problems. But you're doing it to actually crap on that community. You're actually doing it to diss that community. You're actually doing that to hate that community. You
who did absolutely nothing to him. But his family comes from the Sudan, right? this is just speculation, his racism is probably passed down because, think about it, his parents fled the Sudan during a civil war. The civil war was the Arabic North Sudan versus the Black African South Sudan. And it stretched on from like the 80s all the way to like 2011 when South Sudan, finally became its own country with the help of the UN, the United States. So that's probably why he doesn't like black people. His parents probably don't like him. Don't like black people. Probably don't like Africans or Black Americans. So
Sneeko, Andrew Tate, all of you guys are doing it to be hateful.
I just found out what a Sneeko is. A Sneeko. All right, you ever go to the hotel or to the motel and you see that chair sitting in the corner that's facing the bed and you're like, what the hell is that with this chair? Well, that's a Sneeko chair. It's for a person to sit in and watch their partner on the bed have relations with another person, aka cuckolding.
Against a group of people that's already suffered. I see what's going on in Sudan, and even though a person like you has been so disrespectful to our group, I could never sit here and feel good about myself about talking bad about what's going on in Sudan simply because not everybody is you. Not everybody is that stupid, right? They don't deserve for me to disrespect them like you disrespect others, or even your parents, because you're an adult. You should know better than that. But it typically shows how immature and how stupid you are. And now you want to debate after losing a debate and you're crying on Twitter. First of all, let me just say one thing. You guys cannot raise the money on Twitter and move the crowd like Tariq can. That's for sure. You guys are begging people to come on a yacht cruise. Tariq Nasheed raised $2 million for the FBA Museum. And now I understand why people go after Tariq Nasheed so much. See, Tariq doesn't need 1 million followers like you guys got. He don't need to do that. When Tariq raised that money for the Hidden History Museum, it solidified that Tariq Nasheed was the most, and I would say, popular.
I wonder how long it took him to raise that money for his museum, because say if it only took him a few years to raise $2 million for an exam, what the hell is Umar's excuse? Umar been raising money since like 2009.
And the person that can catalyze any group in the African American community on social media by far. He proved it. That's why everybody keeps coming after the guy, because he don't need to have those numbers as a YouTuber.
Hell, Tariq Nasheed donated money to Umar Johnson.
Some of us do, all right? But none of us are Tariq Nasheed. When it comes to galvanizing people, when it comes to getting people to do things, you're not on this level. Just admit that. You can have 1.5 or 2 million followers. You cannot get, Tariq Nasheed can get his audience and fans to do something than you can do with white folks. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy Oshay Duke Jackson back at it.
And that is it for Mr. Oshay Duke Jackson. I don't agree with a lot of stuff he says. He's on that Pan-African stuff. I don't agree with a lot of it. A lot of it sometimes comes off as racist to me. And you can't fight racism with racism. That's just my opinion. I'm entitled to it. But hope you guys enjoyed that. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. The channel is, growing a subscriber count. I don't want to have to go the fresh and fit route and start buying subscribers now. I don't want to do that. I'm trying to keep it all, homegrown and everything. But for now, it's your guy Charm, Burbank TV, BurbankClothing.com. I'm about to go upstairs and get my wife drunk. Peace.
What do you got,